When people want to improve their communication skills, they often start by copying others. They watch someone like Vinh Giang, who's full of energy, playful, using his voice like an instrument, or they watch someone who's calm, steady, composed, and then they try to sound exactly like that person. Now the problem isn't copying. Copying is actually a great way to learn. The problem is stopping there. If you only mimic without applying what actually works for you, you'll never sound authentic. That's why finding your own voice is so incredibly important. Because the goal isn't to become someone else. It's to experiment, borrow what works, and then make it your own. And that's why we're diving into that today. How to find your own way of communicating to sound natural, to sound authentic and powerful. By the way, I'm about to run a 10-day masterclass inside my community for people who are looking to take their communication to the next level. If that sounds interesting, the link is down below. But right now, in this video, I want to focus on something that most people skip when they think about improving their communication skills. Finding your own voice. Because when you do, you stop sounding like a weaker version of someone else and actually start sounding like the strongest version of you. So here's where most people get stuck. Copying isn't a mistake. It's actually a very useful starting point. The mistake is copying without adapting. If you only repeat what someone else does, you'll always feel a little unnatural. And because of that, you'll never actually discover what works for you. Most people stop too early. They watch a great communicator they admire and they try to sound like them. It feels weird and then they stop. And then they decide that this wasn't really for me. Maybe I'm just not good at this. Maybe this is not what I'm supposed to do. But that's not the truth. The truth is that they never took the next step. They never tested enough different tones, different levels of energy or delivery styles to actually figure out what made them feel comfortable. I've felt this myself. When I first started making these YouTube videos, the way I spoke on camera wasn't even close to how I communicate in real life. I was stiff, I was worried about how I sounded or what I looked like. And when I watched back, I thought, that doesn't feel like me at all. And here's the problem. If you don't test new tones, new levels of energy, or new delivery styles, you'll never actually know which one could work for you. You'll just keep repeating the same way of speaking that feels safe, but maybe isn't serving you. This shows up everywhere, in meetings where you hold back your opinion, in interviews where you try to sound professional but just end up sounding flat, even in everyday conversations where you don't show your true, real personality. So the real struggle isn't copying others, the real struggle is not exploring. If you stay in the same spot, you never find out what kind of communicator you could become. And here's the shift. Great communicators don't all look or sound the same, we know that. Some are playful, some are calm, some are intense. What makes them powerful isn't the style itself, it's the fact that they've made it their own. They've taken in their own way of communicating and embraced it like it's their own. When you're comfortable in your own delivery, people trust you, and that authenticity builds connection. Think about Vinh Giang, a person we all love. He's energetic, playful, constantly shifting his voice and using his body. Watching him is exciting. He's so incredibly magnetic when he's speaking. Then comparing him to someone who's calm, steady. Maybe they barely move, but they draw you in with their authority. Two completely different approaches, but both very effective. Not because one style is better than the other, but because both of them are genuine. And this is where people get stuck. They think, to be good, I need to be more like that person, or that person, or that person in the back. But communication isn't about finding the right style. It's about finding the version of communication that feels right for you. And then practicing that until you're confident in it. So instead of asking which style is correct, the better question is actually, which style is right for me? Which part of other people's communication do I want to try? And which do I want to leave behind? That's how you start building a voice that doesn't feel borrowed, that feels lived in, that feels like you. And you know, I love to make these videos concrete for you so actually have something practical to walk away with. So how do you find your own voice? Well, you can do it in 3 steps, and I'll also add a very simple exercise in the end, but 3 steps are the main points. The first one is experiment. Here's where you want to try everything and anything, just to find out what could work for you. Watch communicators you admire. Notice how they use their tone, their energy, their body language. Then copy it. Don't worry about feeling fake or phony. The point isn't to become them. It's to test what might feel possible for you. And step 2 is notice the signals. Some things will feel forced, but others will feel surprisingly comfortable. And that's how you figure out what works for you. You don't know until you've tried it. It's like what your mother used to say when you were little. You don't know if you don't like the food until you've tried it. So just try it. And step 3 is practice owning it. Once you find something that feels good, practice it until it feels natural. At first, even good changes feels strange. It's like going to the gym for the first time, or meeting new people, getting a new job, or starting that business. You're stepping outside of your comfort zone. Of course it will feel uncomfortable, unfamiliar. But that just means you're going in the right direction. You're now improving. Now here's an exercise you know that I love. Talk about something you love. When you speak about something you're passionate about, your natural energy, your natural rhythm usually comes out. Record it, watch it back, and watch your way of communicating. What is your energy looking like? Do all of this enough and you'll slowly piece together your authentic style. Now to tie this back about me recording my first YouTube videos. I had recorded myself multiple times before that, but this format of me sitting down like this and talking about communication was new for me. And what I didn't realize was that for you to actually pick up the energy I usually have, I had to up the level of my energy multiple times for it to be as close as possible to how I usually communicate in real life. When I'm in a meeting with someone that I want to network with, my energy levels are so much higher than what comes across on camera. And it's very difficult, but when you realize this, you'll know that, all right, next time I have to up the ante a bit. So let's wrap this up. Finding your voice isn't about building a character. It's about testing, experimenting, and then keeping what feels authentic to you and finding your own voice. So here's the process in very simple terms. We start off by trying out different angles, trying out everything and anything, just everything you can find. Try it out and see if it works for you. Tones, rhythms, energy levels, anything. And then notice which ones fit you the best and practice them until they feel natural for you. Now here's something that I really want you to take away with this. This isn't something that happens overnight. It takes testing, failing, feeling uncomfortable, repeating. But imagine what happens when you can walk into a room and speak fully as yourself. No pretending, no mimicking, just your voice, clear and confident. That's when people listen, that's when people remember, and that's when your communication has real impact. So start today. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Pick one communicator you admire. Borrow something from them. Test it in your own communication. That's how you make real progress. If this resonated with you, subscribe for more tools and shifts like this every single week to help you master the #1 high-income skill, communication. And if you want to take this a bit deeper, step further and actually level up your communication to another level, join my 10-day masterclass inside my community. We'll practice these skills together, step by step. Link is down below. See you in the next video. Bye bye.